That's what you were finding.
No, you push live, then you go turn the music on, Queen.
Okay. Lab ready? You ready?
I'm
In
live. We
stream.
live. Yeah,
Black and
we
proud.
live.
When you claim you're
Where's the
African, you're going to
music?
get your mind back. Black and
All
proud.
right,
Claim
let's
you're
go.
African. Black and proud. I'm telling you. When you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind back. Black and proud.
All right,
Claim you're
we're
African.
going
Black
back.
and proud. I'm telling you. When you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind back. Black and proud. Claim you're African. Black and proud. I'm telling you. Become a part of it. Embrace it. 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 When you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you.
Peace and power. Queen, it wasn't done yet. The song wasn't done yet. It has a
I
fade
didn't hear
out
it
and
at
a
all.
fade. Oh, you didn't hear it at
I didn't
all?
hear it at all. No, that's what I was
Oh,
telling you. We
oh,
didn't hear.
oh,
There's
oh,
nothing
okay.
playing. You were the only
Oh,
one.
okay. You look at me like, okay, what is he doing? Well, I mean, maybe I'm hoping that I'm not hearing things. But nonetheless, family, peace and power. Welcome back to Doc in a Box. Please go ahead and share the show. Hit like, share, and subscribe. Doc in a Box on Black Box. Here with Sister Queen of B, Dr. D, and Queen of B. Go ahead, Sister Queen, talk to the folk.
There you go with them bars. I see you. So listen, it's rough. This is a rough night. A little tired, but we here. And greetings from South Carolina. It's nippy here, so I said, let me put on the wool hat tonight. A little nippy in the south, so we gotta, get the dome warm. But we got a lot to talk about. We are less than 20 days, guys, from the election, and don't believe the hype. We still need to talk about these candidates. We still need to examine. um, Hope you guys are researching exactly who you want to vote for and that type of thing. Because we're going to talk a little bit of politics, Trumpy and Sister Mala. And then Ta-Nehisi Coates, the message. I don't know if you've been hearing about his new book that's been lighting up the airwaves. I don't know. I'm sparkling on these glasses, bro. I'm like a superstar tonight. The light on my glasses. Look at that. Oh. But anyway, so listen, we got a lot to talk about tonight, but definitely we're less than 20 days from the national presidential election. This election, what I will say is black people is going to be all right. We've been through every adversity in this country, and we're going to stand 10 toes down and do what we got to do. We understand survival, but it is very important for you to vote for your interests and be careful about all of the propaganda that's out here, because the media we got is trash, and they're feeding us what they want us to hear, and they present the candidates that they want us to see. So use your tool, which is voting, but understand that voting never free black Africans. So we got to still do what we do, and we're gonna be all right. All right, y'all. What we got tonight?
Oh man, oh man. Tonight, you know, we wanted to talk about Kamala, Trump, and Ta-Nehisi Coates. I'm
Yep,
gonna jump. I'm gonna jump off like this, right?
jump.
Um, I'm just let you know. I always start off with a bit of a bias towards my peoples, right? Just a bit of a bias to be more folk. So I'm feeling brother Ta-Nehisi. I mean, yeah, I'm feeling them. I'm feeling them. However, I do have some level of critique, to be honest with you, to some degree, and
Let's
not
go.
just not just the critique on ourselves, but I mean on him, but more so ourselves sometimes. You
Mm,
know, I really appreciate what the brother is sharing. It seems to be coming from a very innocent place. Um, yeah. I think I was sharing with you a few days ago that he seems to laugh at some interesting times. It's funny because you were like, of course, you were debating me like, I don't know, but it's funny because someone else, I was listening to him today and it was like, and then he laughed, like, Like right after the guy told him he was invited for dinner, so he can still come to the cookout. He
That's
kind
funny.
of, yeah, he can still come to the cookout, and he kind of chuckled,
How can
right?
corny Tony tell somebody about a cookout? Corny Tony inviting people to the cookout. That's a joke.
Yeah, right. So, but nonetheless, I think it's really interesting. I mean, I appreciate our dear brother Ta-Nehisi actually, speaking, talking his talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he writing
Um,
truth to power. He writing power. I love it.
you know, yeah. I mean, I agree with some. I mean, there's been many critical of him. Some are saying that his analysis isn't that complex, and others are saying that it's really complex. And then all the different things. To me, what
Hmm.
is really impressive about it is not whether or not it's super duper complex or not. Is that I don't truly see what he gains in a. I feel like it is a risk that he's taking, quote unquote. I mean, I think it's a needed risk, especially if it's coming from an authentic place. I think it captures an audience and brings light to an issue that needs some light to be brought forward in a way that he can bring it, especially to the audiences that really respect him. Um, yeah, there's been a lot of critique of him, but yeah, I mean that's the part on our dear brother Ta-Nehisi Coates. For me, I truly appreciate his his ability to articulate in the way that he articulates. I did purchase the book. I haven't gotten to the chapter as far as it pertains to Gaza or what have you, Israel, but
Hmm.
I will. And yeah, I'm glad to hear that someone who typically represents and who is highly favored by white liberals saying something that may stir the pot, that is stirring the pot. And this is why I continue to speak about you can only be as revolutionary in this country as a white liberal, as a white feminist. And it
Mm.
shows that he's going past the white feminist talking points, and that's why things are being stirred up. Because as long as white feminist liberals can approve of murder and genocide in another country, then it's okay to do it and it's okay to say it. You know, so it's okay if white liberals say that the genocide that is going on is not a genocide. It's okay, and it kind of makes our hearts feel good. You
Mm.
know, white liberals, and when I say white liberals, white doesn't have to do with a white doesn't have to do with your skin tone even.
Ooh.
I'm saying those who adopt that mindset that they put forward. And to me, white feminists or feminism, and I'm talking about far right white feminism, I mean left feminism, I'm talking about feminism, white feminism. I'm not talking about real left politics. The feminism is so popular that I understand why on the right, which is also off balance and off kilter, which has been ruling for years, centuries if not, I understand how, you know, these views can be looked at in a way that we embrace them. But I also can see how in the middle there's black men and black women that feel like they're caught in this stuff, and then we feel like we have to take sides. And I say we don't take any of these sides. I don't think any of this stuff serves us. And this is what I've been speaking. I know Queen is like, is he going to talk about the battle of the sexes? The battle of the sexes. Here you go again. And yes, here I go again. Because I'm not dealing with all that. To me, is a battle of the sexes going on, and black people getting caught up in white people's battle of the sexes. And I don't care if the person is black. Obama was representing the liberal white
Yeah.
feminist talking points. Yeah, so I'm going to keep framing it this way so that people can begin to really frame it that way as well, because I don't hear people framing it like this. And then my man JT was saying last week or 2 weeks ago that
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about academia, and I want to keep it very clear that everything that we hear in political arenas have come through academia. This is where these things are fought and taught, and people are this is where they come up with bills, and then you try to bring and create research around it to support the need. So it's nothing that academia is not tied to when we're talking about political stuff. So what reigns in academia, from my standpoint, to some degree, often reigns to some degrees. No, I'm going to say politically. And what we have is some crazy folk on both ends, and it doesn't mean that all women or white women are feminists, because most of them aren't. You got more black women out here that's white feminists than white women that's white feminists. You got more. You have more black men out here that are white feminists than white feminists. I'm talking about utilizing the framework. I'm talking about from an academic standpoint. When you hear the softball questions that Roland Martin was throwing at Kamala, oh my God, he was asking the question and answering for her, and giving her excuses like, I can't stand the question. I don't know where I'm going at today, Queen, but nonetheless, we flowing. I cannot stand when I hear someone ask you a question, then try to answer the question for you, to give you to soften it up before. Well, even Charlemagne the other day. Well, Madam Vice President, what are you going to say about these black people that are going to say that you put this agenda together as a response of what Barack did? And he said, I know that this is not true, but let her talk. Let her talk and support her own things. But what am I going to say about that? If she did not just put it together, let me say this. If she did not just put it together as a result of what Barack did, it is the most foolish agenda that I've ever seen. I don't know. I don't look at many agendas, but it is a foolish agenda. It is propaganda at its best. It is a lie, and it's what they say. She playing in our faces. That she's playing in our face with this agenda. She's playing in our face with these policies. Now let me back up a little bit. I can't hear you, Queen. I think you're on mute. Let me back up a little bit and say Trump been playing in our face. Trump ain't even playing.
Are you talking about the black man agenda? Is that what you're talking about?
That is like, I mean, when I hear people like my dear sister Karen Hunter and different people that just I mean, oh my God, like, it's so crazy when I hear what our so-called, like, it just bothers me that no one, oh my God, everybody's operating out of fear. I want to show you some clips, if I can today, with Karen Hunter talking about, if you do not support voting for Kamala, you're just the damn enemy. And that's where it is. You understand? Like, these are our intellectuals. You understand? This is when Obama gets to come to black men and say, tell black men that the second greatest number of people who vote for Democrats, that you failing us because you're doing this, and and not. He said more than that. Oh my God, this is why I'm saying. Ooh.
You up today? I thought you was tired. You up today? I'm just gonna drink my tea and listen.
Can you hear that?
No, that's why I said I couldn't hear you, the music neither, or I can't hear what you got.
I didn't mean to play that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to play that. I didn't mean to play that, but Oh, it's not. It's not on the screen. Something
Mm-mm.
just scared the heck out of me. It popped up pretty slow, but man, let's see this. Let's see if I can do this. Let me
Them
pull
white
this up.
feminists is coming for you.
White feminists, and keep in mind when I say white feminists, I am not
Cause you
talking
say
about
black women and black men. I'm like,
black
let me get a
men.
drink of my water. Let
I'm
me get
saying
some
in
tea.
academia, it is a place right now, and I'm saying patriarchy. The white patriarchy has ruled for a long time. It has. And I understand why the white we is what as Dr. Gregory often speaks about. We go too far, though. Whatever we do in this country, we go too far. So what we do is we had a pendulum swing from white patriarchy to what I'm going to call white matriarchy,
Mm,
and it doesn't serve us, And I'm using that word intentionally
at you.
because I know we've been taught to think of matriarchy as a good thing because we look at it from this ideal way of black matriarchal society, African matriarchal society. That word just never set with me. And because the thing is, it is saying that it means rule, archy. It's like rule, like I do like the idea of a twinlineal society, or a
Define what that is. What's twinlineal? Define that.
where man and women rule and govern together.
Mm.
You know,
Okay.
any archy don't fit to me. It's still more of the feminist talking points. I think we take a lot from feminist scholars, and pretty much we have these type of responses, and it becomes too far to that direction. To me, what I mean is, it's like no rules. There's no rules. There's no begins no rules. Like it's like anything patriarchal, anything this is all bad, and then on the other side, anything this is all bad. It's like when I hear about feminism, it's all about individual freedom. you know, um, it's about individual freedom, not collective and group liberation. And we get caught up in that, and we want to fight about it. And then our great in this society where people are propelled in front of us as if they are more significant than us becomes a problem too. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't like what Obama did. I'm sorry. I hear a lot of people supporting
They
what
say
he
you
did.
hating. Yeah, they say you
Huh?
just hating, bro. You see,
Say it
Billie
again?
Jean say you just. They say you just hating. Like,
Oh,
you mad
that's
at
good.
Obama?
Well, okay. So hold up. Let me
You mad at that at Obama? They not happy with you, bro.
okay, Billie Jean. What did Billie
Billie Jean
Jean
said,
say?
"Man, you just hating."
What you talking about?
What you
Oh,
talking about? He not
but
Billie Jean. We need to put a little more there so we can understand where you're coming from. But Proper says
you,
something. She says she's still on that study reparations BS. They're talking about Kamala.
she's
Um,
still on the what?
the study reparations BS.
Oh, oh, she's talking. Yeah.
She's talking about
That
Kamala.
is a
Yeah.
cop out at best. That is a cop out. Oh, what do you think about reparations? I think we need a study. Like, shut up. We already been talking about a study for how long? Like, don't. She's copping out. You know what I mean? Like,
You up
yo,
now?
just like
You
you
ready?
can't switch. She switches every week, and then they want to now say black men. And I was listening to a show the other day. This guy named Anton. I don't Anton. I don't know his other name, but he's a guy with the beard and the glasses. And I heard the brothers and the sisters going back and forth. And I'm like, whoa. Like, and I heard the brothers say some things in that particular live that was like really real, like about their feelings about Kamala. Now, I can't get with their ideas if they believe that somehow Trump is a better choice.
That's the
Now,
problem.
I can't go that far, right?
I mean, neither.
But
That's the
you
problem.
know, but to me that becomes that's somewhere along the line you can rationalize and reason that I can't.
But
You
I
know,
think too, Da, that people don't see another line. They don't see the other candidates. The ones that are presented are the candidates that we're only focusing on. So if you're not with Kamala, you're with Trump. But there's other
Well,
candidates. There's Cornell, there's Stein, there's Dela Cruz. We got to understand, we got to stop. The only way to get the other parties on the ballot and make them a thing is
mm-hmm,
that we make them a thing. They're
mm-hmm,
never going to
mm-hmm,
make them a thing. We have to make them the thing. So we're caught up in this Democrat Republican thing because we haven't looked at outside of that thing. That's all I'm saying.
mm-hmm.
Now, if Democrat Republican is your thing, you be a donkey or a horse. I mean, or an elephant. Be
We're
that.
caught up.
But I think that we need to look outside of what's being presented. Understand that where the money is and where is the presentation is always the problem.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
That's how I feel.
we're caught up in the duopoly, right?
Absolutely. We
And
love the duopoly.
and you know, I don't know all the feelings that was going through me when I decided to say the battle of the sexes, but I will say
I wonder
this:
too.
the battle, it's so it's all around us. It's like men and women are really arguing and debating each other over this mess that doesn't serve our community. Um,
At all.
then also just politically, my technology thing is bugging today. I'm sorry, and I'm hearing myself back.
I see you working hard.
Yeah. So, but nonetheless, go ahead, Queen. Fill in for me while I get something, pull something up.
I just stop when I
Uh,
can. But this Proper said they don't want to see the alternative candidates because they are willfully tunnel vision and blind. It is a willful thing, I think, too, Proper. But I also think that it's just like if someone keeps putting a Snicker in front of you, it's very hard to see the Twix because you keep seeing the Snicker and you're used to the Snicker. And I think that's what we get caught up in this television and what's being presented to us because that's where it is, and that's why I think television does us a disservice too because the folks who present whatever's on television or whatever we're seeing, social media, it comes from someone's opinion. It comes from a place. So we see, as Brother Da says, the duopoly. Everything is about Republican or Democrat, but the only way for us to see the Green Party, the Orange Party, the Red Party, I don't care what the Doo Party, whatever it is that we have to demand that. And that means we got to shake this voting thing up because I think we're being bamboozled. I don't know what Obama did. I don't think it made sense as a black man. I think they used him very well um, with his I don't know what that was. I don't know if it was an attack. I don't know if it was a call to action, but we act as if black men are impotent and nobody else is. And I think that's nonsensical. I think black men probably is the second highest voting block for Democrats. They better
it's so
chill.
popular,
They
sister
better
Queen.
chill
It's
before
so
they all go to the
it's
Republicans. They
it
better chill.
you almost it's if you speak up as a man, I'm hearing myself back. You will begin to be penalized for that. I'm talking about as a black man, you will be penalized because of your ideas. A black man can't say much of anything. Black men's voices are not respected. Black men's voices are not popular. If it's not, I'm saying, and our sisters are you being used against us. Black girl magic is being used against us. The politics of, and I'm not saying that we should go out there and create this manosphere where we're just beating up on women or vice versa. I'm against all of that. I think we really have to talk about the family. Anything that is void family and community to me is status quo. It's status quo. It's keeping and maintaining and helping those other folk maintain their power position. In fact, I think I said this. I don't know if I said this last week or not, but I was looking at a video with my class. And this is an old video called "The Color of Fear" back in the day, which is often on multicultural courses. And the Latino and the Asians and the black people start to speak about the racism between the groups. I think that's a little bit more complex, but they begin to speak, and then the white guy is looking like, oh. So one of the participants, I think was the Asian guy, turned around and said, I'm afraid that you're going to look at us and say you all are just as bad as us. And then the black guy looked at him and said, I want you to promise me that you're not going to look at us and what we're divulging here about what's going on in our groups and now say that you're just as bad as us. And then the Latino, I think with the Asian guy came in and said, and told him, so look, and the white guy did say it. He did at some point in the movie or film. He said, "Look at you, yeah, you all are just as bad as us." He literally said it like sometime later. And he said, "Well, let me share with you. I was afraid of that. When we fight each other, we still push you up. When you fight us, we still push you up. So no matter if we're fighting you or each other, you still win." And that is the issue that I have with brothers and sisters in our community falling for the liberal white matriarchy. Because this liberal white matriarchy is what is the most acceptable and only accepted to some degree form of change. And change in the liberal matriarchy for the most part is you change words. You don't call black people niggas anymore. You don't call Latin people Latino or Latina. You call them Latinx. It's you change words. You start to call people. It's interesting because I literally just had a class on this yesterday, and and I'm not saying there's no utility to these things, but what I am saying is that's not enough. Where we focus on words and changing words and speaking appropriately, asking people their pronouns and doing all these things, which can be very beneficial. But again, if that's it, it ain't enough. Again, if that's it, it ain't enough. So so what you do is you begin to use euphemisms. You become a professional euphemistic intellectual, and guess what? Let's keep it a buck. When we talking about this world, most people are not getting these educations. Now, it might spill over into pop culture. It will at some point in time. But that's the most revolutionary you can be. What white women say you can be. When you're supporting the Democratic Party, you are supporting white matriarchy. When you are supporting the Republican agenda, you are supporting white patriarchy. Is that clear? Is that simple? I'm sorry. And a man can't even be a man. I'm not even one of those ones men to be like, boom, 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 boom. You have to understand that we won't even allow brothers to be brothers anymore. And we daggone sure don't let, black women never could be that stereotypical idea of what a woman is supposed to be because she was always seen as less. She was always seen as a good time. She was utilized for what she has between her legs and exploited for what's between her legs because they put their white woman up on a pedestal to say they should never enter that purity. So I'm going to go and do all types of filthy things with you. and have babies with you, and nobody talks about it. Nobody, we talk. We know that we have these different complexions for some reasons, but we're gonna let the white patriarchy and the white matriarchy come between us. And when I am saying Obama is a representative of the white matriarchy, anytime you put out any foolish information like he put out the other day, well, I just think you brothers, like, yeah, I mean, I get it. I think I agree this to some degree. There's brothers out here who are like, look, man, I'm tired of people taking my balls away from me. Excuse my language. So then you fall over into this Trump camp, this foolishness, But I understand why he doing that. Just like I understand why sisters doing what they doing, and why people follow either both of these parties. But it's all a sham. And again, getting back to Kamala, I wish you could pull up her that thing. Like, none of it is for black men. It's bananas. It's BS. How is something for black men and she turns around right and says that she can't do nothing exclusively for black men? In fact, it's against the law. But then it's not against the law to put propaganda out there, though. And it's not like, and then you don't have to read the fine print, just the pure. I mean, like, what kind of person do you have to be to put out BS propaganda? We know it's propaganda when you have small print that says others for black men and others. Like, what? And then you go from black men economic agenda to black men and others to just an economic agenda in smaller writing. Like, so what are you doing different for black men here? Oh, well, then people say, well, they say, well, you know that she can't write a policy specifically for black men, so don't lie then. Don't lie. Don't put out false, misleading information. You know what you're doing. You could at least say, well, I put out I know I can't do nothing explicitly, exclusively for black men because it's against the law, but don't fool us. Tell us, like, I'm doing this because I think this will help you out. But the reality is this. Our scholars, our researchers have already said it. They've already said it. And she says, well, you know what? And she says the most ignoramus thing. She continues to say, and people allow her to get away with it. And she continues to say, well, what helps black people will help everybody. And what helps everybody will help black people. Like, okay. No, that's not necessarily true. That's the way you're structuring it. The reality is, if you make a policy that's for everybody, it does nothing to get rid of the inequality that's taking place in this country with black people. Our scholars have said holistically that black people's experience in this country has been very different than any and every other group in this country. So hence, it will take a very different approach to remedy those problems, psychologically, physically, spiritually. You can't remedy a problem. How will you remedy black economic disproportionality and also say in the economic agenda? The economic agenda is also for everybody, because that's not more poor black people from what I that's more poor white people, because it's more poor white people in this country. It's more white people in this country. So it would still impact them in a way, because they're going to be the majority who gets it. You have to do something specifically and exclusive for black people. And if it's against the law now, at least make that a part of your agenda. Go ahead, Queen.
You on fire. I'm observing. One thing I do agree with, it has to be intentional. If someone's intentionally harmed, you have to intentionally repair. And this thing about putting mustard on the bread and spreading it for everybody, that's an issue. And we do not experience the trauma and the things that we go through in this society, holding hands with Asians and South Asians and anybody who's of this BIPOC, whatever that is. We've experienced things as Black people. So we need repair for Black people, and Black men need intentional repair. So I don't understand what they're doing. I think Obama made a misstep. I'm not in love with him anyway, but I think he made a misstep. I think Kamala, she needs to do what she do. We almost 15 days out, and you trying to woo men that you should have started when you at the beginning. So, and to attack the most oppressed men in this country as if they're impotent is not, to me, is not a good look. It is not. And so here we are with people running campaigns of these major parties who aren't Black people. And they think they know what's good for the moment. They look at a poll, and then we see these knee-jerk reactions, and then they bring out their Black folks. They go find the big Black, the medium Black, and the small Black. And so we saw Obama, the big Black. No, Kamala this time is the big Black. And then they brought out Sir Black, Obama. And then they put all the other little folk, little pre-Blacks in there to make it all go. But we have to divorce ourselves from propaganda and foolishness and really, really, really look for resources and do some research and look at these other candidates. People say they won't win, but we got to get them on the ballot. We got to get them into the mainstream. What you think about that, Doc? Like getting away
Let's
from.
listen to. Let's listen to. I think Doctor. I think Doctor. She's a doctor, right? Karen Hunter, right?
No.
Okay. Well, Sister Karen Hunter, and I appreciate the sister.
Yeah, she is a.
She's
teacher.
an academic.
She's a professor.
So
but she's not,
so
yeah,
so I appreciate her, but when it comes to these times, I just want you to hear it for yourself. And this is
Let me hear it.
She has this said. It says, "Do we need to worry about Jill Stein or Cornel West?"
White outcry against white racism that murders African people all around this entire globe. It doesn't exist. So who are these white good people? I want to meet them. I want to see them. A few is not enough.
But that might be all we can give.
No. And guess what? I don't work with all I can get. What I work with is what I have. Listen, you have to have some confidence in the power of African people amongst ourselves to establish a foundation.
We have.
We haven't. We have utter chaos in our cities, and you got to see that.
In case you didn't know, that was the voice of 20-something-year-old Sister Soldier, who we interviewed last week with her latest book. But she was quite an activist. And that other voice saying, maybe that's all we can get. That was the voice of Cornel West telling this young lady that maybe we can compromise with these people. And she was like, no. Let's tell the truth. Let's tell the truth. We're the good white people. We're the good white people who are standing in the gap and standing up for what's right. That's what Sister Soldier was asking. Why are they not in the streets? Now I'm gonna say some of George Floyd, a lot of white people in the streets. Thank you. If you really are about humanity and democracy and all of these things, you need to be vocal and you need to stand up. But I bring up this clip that I've been holding on to for two reasons. First of all, you see kind of like the generational back and forth. And by the way, you're listening to the Karen Hunter show in case you just somehow ambled into this space on 126 by accident. Welcome. Take off the shoes, and listen before you call. You probably need to know what this is before you call up with an opinion. But Sister Soldier was very clear as I start off the show talking about truth being unmovable. We should be committed to radical truth. And her radical truth is we live in a nation that we should have the confidence to not just demand what we need and what we want, but go for it. And so the brother that called up, very nice, Farouk, talking about I don't want to be an accomplice. Well, if you drive your car and you eat food in this country and you breathe air in this country, you have been an accomplice. So if you didn't have this energy 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, this stuff has been going on. I don't want to hear from you now as we're this close to actually having somebody in office that we can push into service. You become an agent of chaos. And all of this high-minded, self-aggrandizing notion that somehow I don't want to be an accomplice, you're an accomplice. Now, your only choice is to leave the country, go someplace else where you don't have to have blood on your hands, because you do, or fight for the humanity of the people all over the world that America has been doing things to, whether we're talking about Haiti or whether we're talking about our complicity in the Middle East. The only way that's going to change is through leadership. And the only way leadership is going to change is when we show up and push people in power into doing what we need them to do. And right now, of the two candidates, and there's a binary choice, and I played this because Cornel West was in there. But sister, we gotta, we gotta compromise with the people. You know, if you listen to the rest of the clip, just there, him and Han. Jill Stein, stop playing in my face. There's two choices, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Between the two of them, Donald Trump has already told you who he is, what he wants to do. And if you're black in America, police will have immunity under Donald Trump, because Donald Trump will have immunity, which means there's nobody who's going to check him, boo, nobody. And your ass go out there and protest if you want to and find out what happens. You're already black. You already know what's happening. He wanted to deploy the National Guard during the summer of George Floyd, and people were like, no, you can't do that. Well, guess what? He will be able to do that this time. None of those people are there anymore to stop him. And the Supreme Court gave immunity to the office of the presidency. So y'all can play games if you want to, but I'm going to go hard in the paint until I can't anymore, because I know what's at stake. Because I'm listening to a book about Emmett Till, when somebody could be snatched out of their bed and the police were complicit in the killing of Emmett Till, and the town and the coroner and all of the officials were complicit in covering up the murder of that 14-year-old boy. I don't want to go back to that. And that's not hyperbole, because it's happening in this country now. Somebody was found hung here. And there's, to me, right now, if you're talking that talk, you're an enemy. You're not just, I don't have that on my conscience. Well, this is going to be on your conscience. Period.
My days are cooler.
All right, Queen, I'll let you go. Since little ladies first. ladies first. I know, because I love the Black Girl Magic. Because I know y'all give sisters all types of passes, but keep going. That's why Kamala's coming up in his White House.
Oh, so what I will say is, first, I love Karen Hunter.
Disclosure.
She is definitely
ding ding ding.
Yeah, that's a disclosure. I really do. I watch her. I mirror her. I love her. I think she's very intelligent. She's an entrepreneur. She teaches minds. I love Karen Hunter. But I will say that you are not an enemy if you're not complicit in this propaganda shuttle we're under. So I don't believe that. I think that the only way to change this white oppressancy game they got going is for us to not participate. And participation is these candidates. We have to look at the others. I'm not in love with Cornel West. I'm not in love with Jill Stein. I'm not in love with Dela Cruz. None of them. But I definitely don't like Donald Trump. That's a fact. And I have issues with Kamala Harris. She's a black woman. For that, she gets some love from me. But her policy, she's complicit in what's going on in Gaza. I have a problem with that. We do not slaughter people. We've been slaughtered. So
Karen said,
love Karen Hunter, but I don't agree.
That. She said, don't come with all this moral stuff.
I love her.
She said,
well, I got to give you moral. We do not slaughter when you've been slaughtered. The same folk that's slaughtering brown folk over there slaughtered my ancestors. We can't be complicit in that. We cannot. And then the other things that's going on. She said Haiti. Let's go to Africa, Sudan. Let's go to Congo. Let's just move throughout the world and see the hands of this country. So we have to be very careful about what's at stake. And like I said, voting is a tool. Black folks, we understand survival. We're gonna be 10 toes down anyway, and survive. We've survived everything, but be careful with the propaganda. My sister Karen just threw something on you, and I don't particularly agree, even though I love her. That's my take.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I appreciate Sister Karen Hunter as well, in her platform. As of late, there's been a lot of stuff on I just think that is coming out of a place of fear. To me, that entire clip said, "I'm afraid," and I'm not saying it's not a reason to be afraid out here. I mean, I understand that fear is coming from a place, but I think that many times, and I know many times, what happens is when we're operating from a place of fear, we don't make the best decisions. Especially when we're talking about strategy. I feel like the misusage of the clip of Sister Soldier was, I think that was not even a good usage of Sister Soldier. I do see what she was doing is using Sister Soldier to show that how Cornell, Dr. Cornell West was speaking. Yeah. And we understand that you have to listen to Dr. Cornell West in a more than a soundbite, and that he does call everybody brothers and sisters, but I think that's very strategic in ways. But I think what Karen Hunter did is exactly what the picture she was trying to paint of Cornell.
Also in that clip, have you seen that interview? He was a mess in that, but that was years ago. He was buck dancing. Yes, he was. But she was 20.
I mean, and he does, but he does, same
person, and neither.
But Cornell does that. Both. I mean, but Cornell does that still today in a sense where he kind of
he bucked in that one.
He doesn't want everybody to see all white people as this way or all black people as this way. Like he tries to come with the humanitarian type of framework. And that can backfire on you, especially when you're talking to black people, right? But what I am saying is, I feel like it was a misuse because Sister Soldier's message was very different than what I heard Karen Hunter's. Sister Soldier's message was more like you have to demand what you want. Karen Hunter's talking about we're pushing people into the White House. Like literally, are we pushing Kamala into the White House? And when she's already in the White House, first and foremost, right? And then secondly, I guess then we now pull her further to the left or what have you. There's nothing to me that reaps the idea that you can pull her to the left. And I mean, I can't say nothing. I just think it's a poor judgment to think you will. Just voting for the less of evils is different than demanding a thing. That is not the energy. I guarantee you that was not the energy that Sister Soldier was on in whenever that was. That I guarantee you, I can just assume, I could be wrong, that when during that time, she would not even go with this idea of the lesser of the evils. And then she wants to now discredit people trying to have a voting because it goes against their values. And she says, what were you saying 10 years ago? Now, if somebody like myself, I would have been voting with my values 10 years ago. So, like, she was fear mongering. She was doing all types of things in that little clip there. Which she snipped that clip, not me. That is her short. So she clipped that short, and she somehow thought that was beneficial because she's telling black people that you are the enemy. See, that's the problem there.
But from Donahue. That clip is Donahue. You know?
No, I'm talking about Karen Hunter.
That clip is from Donahue.
Yeah. But Karen Hunter
with the two players, it was 25, 30 years ago. Come on.
Okay. And then Karen Hunter though is saying that if you do not vote for Kamala, you are the enemy. what what is that about? You're telling a group of like that is even like imagine Obama would have said that. Like she said, okay, I'm going to go further than Obama. I've heard her review of Obama as well, which was, yeah, he was just a man. And you know what? I'm starting to really realize that there is some relevance in some people's mind when they look at Kamala and they look at Obama and say they didn't have the same experience. I'm Pan African and all that type of thing, but see, there's a class element here as well. And I saw this thing with Charlemagne the God the other day, and I think there was some good questions on there that was like, it was still staged, but there were some very good questions. Kamala got to respond without too much rebuttal. There was a like somebody actually said, I hear you often speak about the middle class. And I think I shared this on our show. I hear you often share about the middle class. Like in our community, the middle class mean I made it. Like from her perspective, middle class, where she is now, is making it from the middle class. You got what I'm saying? Like the middle class. I come from the middle class. And like in our community, the middle class mean you them damn made it. This is how out of touch she is with our community. Like you gonna have to switch it up and at least act like your mother was on food stamps for 2 months or something. You know what I mean? Like
Good
you gonna have to act like you gotta act like you gonna have to act like your lights were off a few months or I mean a day, at least one day. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to act like your mother or father, was on WIC or something when your mother at least was on WIC at least a few months, or like the middle class. And I'm hearing that there is some truth to her mother come from the Brahmin class. I mean, I'm not going to judge her on that, but nonetheless, the Brahmin class in India.
What's that?
More the higher class, not from like the lower
African
class.
We don't know about no Brahmin. They sound like a piece of bread.
So, I mean, I'm not going to disrespect. Well, that class system does need to be disrespected. Let's keep that above. That caste system. Yeah, Brahmin. That caste system. Yeah. So, again, Karen Hunter, we love you. And his brother is on there with her with the squeaky voice.
And the glasses.
Yeah, I mean, he got the mic you got, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like I don't like these shows where the co-host in the host, like it's like the co-host is almost afraid to say anything that differs from the host, him or herself. Like I always tell Sister Queen, bring me that smoke. Bring me that smoke, Queen.
They might say that about us.
Well, Queen, bring me the smoke. You know what I mean? Like I'm hearing myself back, but go ahead, Queen.
You hear yourself back. I can't mute right now. I will. But I think that we've drank the Kool-Aid, even our intellectuals in a way. I mean, I definitely love Karen Hunter. I love Rodney Carr. I love the people on her platform. But I think we do a disservice when we try to persuade people of what we believe in. And I think it is a lot of fear out here. People are fearful of Trump. They think he's going to come in and control the thing and put the police on everyone, and he probably will. But when have we not been able to deal with that? What we need to do is start making moves for the future. Yes, Trump is an issue. The Supreme Court and the way they load this thing is an issue. But also the voting thing is an issue. We have something called the Electoral College. I think sometimes we don't understand that voting is beautiful, but the college, you got to get that college degree from that Electoral College. And so if that's not in your favor, I don't give a damn how many people vote and who you voting for. You got to get certain states. You have to be very strategic because voting is not the only tool that puts the president in place. So a lot of things are at play. But if we keep moving out of fear, it's very fear. Being Black can be a fearful position. And then when we see something that is as I don't, but I can't even put Trump in words. As ridiculous as a Trump, having the opportunity to be able to reign for 4 more years, it seems to be a very hard thing to swallow for some people. For me also. But again, if we keep swallowing, eating elephants and sucking on donkeys, we're gonna have some problems. We got to change this thing. The people they're presenting, they're both not very good to me. Trump is horrible, but Kamala has some issues too. That's what I'm gonna keep saying.
Well, do you
That's
have
it.
a screenshot of Vice President Kamala Harris's agenda for Black men? And that is a part of the
I
reason
don't
why I
have the
said,
whole agenda. I do have this though that I kind of looked up. This is saying what they have actually changed. Look at daunting. She looked at the poll, and this is what she had for Black men. She plans to announce the 3 new policy prescriptions. You see that?
yeah,
Um, that is somewhat of what this chick is putting out there. But
yeah. I mean, do you have where she speaks
the
about
whole
like
joint,
it's like maybe like 5 or 6 items that she is kind of hot. I have a whole joint here where she
cause see,
literally took all of her
she
policies, right?
speaks
Huh?
because
Yeah,
she speaks because Obama's in this one too, and Charlamagne is saying it is whack. So they kind of talking about them. So all of the people you mentioned is in this article. Obama's comments and people, actually people saying that like Donald Trump has a documented history of racism. I'm not supporting the Black community or Black men for that matter, said the lieutenant government. There's a subset of folks who really just want to nitpick everything that Kamala Harris wants to do. See, it's
mm-hmm,
like we're convinced that she is it.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. She got this nationwide economic opportunity tour. I don't know if that is what Black people are needing at this point. I think we need more than that. But I don't have the actual agenda that she has for Black men. Do you have it?
Okay, it's kind of like I want to see it. It's like a image that everybody it's an image.
I'm gonna look for it for you. You can
And one of
go
the
ahead, Nate.
things
I'm gonna look
that
for it.
I wrote a post on my Instagram. Follow me at Dr. Dennis Astar Winkler on Instagram family. But I wrote a post about one of the talking points or one of the points on her agenda for Black men is this
Hmm.
idea about weed.
Like
Like
only Black men
just
smoke weed.
like the fact like you even feel comfortable sharing that this is a black men, this is looking out for Black men.
Yeah.
Like like
I think they look at
okay.
the numbers. They still work the percentages. They're working where, they're in jail for weed and weed possession is high. I think they look at percentage then actually look at Black men and talk to Black men. How about that?
Right, but the problem is they're not talking about freeing Black people because of weed. They're talking about legalizing it, or they're not even talking about decriminalizing things. But they're definitely speaking about this idea of weed is something that Black men want legal on the first part of it. All right, I think that it's so stereotypical. Just imagine a white president was to really imagine a white president would put that out. You know, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Trump could do it because people love him insanely as well. I know Black people like weed. He probably would say, right? So he's crazy. But to me, I feel like it's very stereotypical. And even on the other side, that we're going to make business opportunity, make it easier for Black people, Black men to start businesses up and benefit from weed sales or what have you. I mean, this the business itself. How do you do that exclusively for Black men? How? You can't. you can't be for all and make it like, where are you gonna go and tell the people who you're gonna say, all right, we're gonna reinstate affirmative action and you're gonna have to get a percentage of black men, and like I don't know. I hear people talking about reinstating Roe versus Wade, but I don't hear too many people fighting for affirmative action and what happened at Harvard and all these type of things, right? Why? Because there ain't no white people worried about that. See, again, that's why I keep saying, like, we be falling for the white people stuff, and we will fight harder for white people stuff because like things that also impact white people are put in the front. But if it's exclusively black people, nah. And that I continue to say, that's why I have to give respect to my dear brother Cleo Monago. Although
this is the agenda, when you're ready. This is her agenda for black men right here.
Okay. Thank you. And I got to give respect to Cleo Monago, who speaks about this idea about, I actually played it in my class yesterday about, he does not accept this whole LGBTQ plus community because that community has been very racist to black people, same gender loving black people. And the reason why I'm giving that respect, because all the different movements have utilized black people for things that were important to white people, all these different communities. And if it's exclusively black, there's no issue. And the reason why black men are overlooked in this country, I'm going to tell you why. It just came to my mind. Is nothing black or woman about a black man. So there's white women, right? So there's white women. So white women feel oppressed from the black men that their fathers and their husbands and their brothers. So black women get to feel as if white women are fighting a fight against men, and they're also fighting the same fight. But the reality is, we know, and many of the black feminists know, that that fight was specifically for white women. They evolved over the years. Black women still want to be involved with that. Cleonora Hudson Weems says we need to create our own thing because we have our own unique situation. Black men don't really fall into that because he's a male. So somehow he's superimposed this white patriarchal maleness, although he's none of that. None of that at all. So he's just the voiceless. You can't, because black men have to pay for what white men have done to the world. Black men have to pay for what white men have done to the world. Because somehow our maleness makes us oppressors. So there's no, I think that to some degree that can make a very unique situation. I don't even have a problem with it, honestly. But I do have a problem. The problem lies in that if you're black male and gay, now somehow you are fooled by the idea that the white gay community has your best interest at hand. Or if you're black and a woman, and now you think that somehow the white matriarchal liberal Democrat Party has your best interest at hand. Or just white liberals or white feminists or what have your interest at hand, when we know that they don't. I shared with my class yesterday how I know, my own experience with it is as a vice president of a conglomeration of neighborhoods around the Northeast Baltimore corridor called Greater Northwood Covenant Association, where there's like 5 neighborhoods that come together. At least 1 or 2 of them are very highly. There's a lot of white folk. The original Northwood is a lot of white folk. And when you sit down with them and you talk about issues and you talk about what we need as a collective in these organizations, I've heard it myself where they say, well, we don't have that problem. So literally most of the neighborhoods around their neighborhood have these issues, But because they don't have that problem in their community, the original Northwood, they will filibuster and hold things up for these other communities that surround them. So this is what happens in these different movements when you think that somehow they can even see you. You add to their numbers. In fact, the reason why you're even 3/5 of a human, or whatever it was it 2/5 or 3/5 of a human, is because it benefited white Southerners. So they compete with white Northerners. And somehow we think white Northerners were so more progressive. I don't understand why. And in fact, where some people, just because they were in the North, they own enslaved people in the South. Like, we be looking at these things in very unnuanced ways. And we really think that this thing called the Mason-Dixon is real. Like, somehow I'm better because I'm not where slavery happened. In fact, when that's nothing further from the truth, that slavery happened in almost every territory in this particular country, especially on the East Coast. There was slavery even in California to some degree. So, and things aren't even that clean and clear. Somehow we're better because I was with the white slave. I was around white people who weren't slave owners. The northern white folks, quote unquote, are the same as the liberals. They tolerate you, and they still benefit from you. And very okay, go ahead, Sister Queen. I see people leaving. Go ahead.
We got Brother Chris. Brother Chris said Trump is bad, but not as bad as some of the people coming behind him. There's a cadre of white supremacist, nationalist candidates ready to take his place. But Brother Chris, we can't take the process and look past the trash in front of us. we gotta recognize the trash that's stinking in front of us before we go get the next molded trash. And
peace to Brother John Logic. I see Brother John Logic's in the building, or
he's in the building.
That's a little earlier. Brother Proper, peace. Brother JT, peace.
JT, and we got Brother Chris. We appreciate you coming here. And
who is Billie Jean? It was coming from me earlier.
That was earlier, yeah. I don't understand. Trump is bad, but I'm not comparing him to anybody else. He is bad. That's all we need to know.
I mean, I'll be curious to what Brother Chris means by this, though. Like, Trump is bad, but not as bad as some of the people coming behind him. There's a cadre of white supremacist nationalist candidates ready to take his place. I'll be curious to what he means and what he knows about this. But I do understand what you're saying too, Queen. You're saying, I mean, I guess what is the purpose? What is the purpose for this message? That's what I would want to know.
Like,
what
why
is the
are we not
purpose?
looking at Trump? That's what I'm saying. I understand there might be something bad. We're in a country of
I'm not sure.
supremacy.
Maybe, but I'm just wondering, what is the purpose for the message? What is it supposed to do? Console me? Is it supposed to help me fight harder? Like, is it supposed to make me vote for Trump, vote against Trump, vote for Kamala? Like, I'm just curious to what the purpose of the message is. Is it to sound the war horn to say let's? Is it
chat? And he can come and tell us what the purpose is. What about that?
Who is Parnell? Parnell say, brother, quit saying we. Some of us know the truth.
Ooh. What does that mean?
I don't know. I think that
the link is in the chat, guys. Come on in and talk to Dow face to face.
I think Parnell Broom or whatever is I don't know what Parnell is speaking about.
He said stop saying we. Some of us know the truth. What's the truth?
Why would he tell me not to say we? I
don't know.
I want to know. We is very is. We is inclusive of me as well, right? So maybe he's not contextualizing the whole what we is and all that type of thing. But nonetheless, brother Broom or sister Broom or whoever Broom, you can't tell me you can't make me stop saying we. You can try. It's a waste of time and a waste of your fingers just typing it. I appreciate it, and I love that you gave me some content to answer and respond to. I think that is the most crazy. I mean, I think that's one. Like, I think it's pointless. I think that you must have a lot of control in your life where you just tell everybody to do things the way you want to do it. But nonetheless, thank you for at least giving me a few minutes more to talk about something.
Or let him expound. Brother Broom, you could put some more in so we kind of understand that statement with the we.
Well, he didn't come.
So
he didn't come.
He didn't come. You can hit that link, bro.
He didn't come in an expounding. He didn't come in an expounding way. Most people who respond like that don't expound.
No, he didn't.
They just say things.
Oh, look here. Here we go. He said,
"Quit calling
him no woman.
Why you calling me? Were you calling me brother? That means it must be a we, brother. So I'm gonna continue to say we. All right. So I mean, to me, it doesn't make sense for him to say, stop saying we.
You know what they say? We say, jump in the chat, don't hold back. So that's what Brother Parnell did. We appreciate you, Brother Parnell, but he don't like that we. We want him to jump in the chat. Don't hold back.
You want him to jump. You want him to jump on the link and don't hold back. Come on up.
Yeah, I want him to jump to the link and tell us what
Brother Broom. Brother Broom, come on up and come on up in here. Come on up. I know we know
Chris,
you're a man, Queen.
Bring it in.
We know that you did that, but let's go to these
let's get Kamala's black men joint. So, because we got a lot of black men in here, so let's look at what she said, her points. So it says I'm just going to start. It says the path-breaking agenda includes providing 1 million loans that are fully forgivable to Black entrepreneurs and others to start a business, championing education, training, and mentorship programs that help Black men get good-paying jobs in high-demand industries and lead their communities, including pathways to become teachers. Number 3, supporting a regulatory. Read that again.
No, let's go back to the first one. Let's talk about them. You want to go through all of them, then come back?
And then exactly, that's what I was going to do. Yeah, is that cool, or you want to start?
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Number 3, supporting a regulatory framework for cryptocurrency and other digital assets so Black men who invest in and own these assets are protected. 4, launching a national health equity initiative focused on Black men that addresses sickle cell disease, diabetes, mental health, prostate cancer, and other health challenges that disproportionately impact them. Number 5, legalizing recreational marijuana and creating opportunities for Black Americans to succeed in this new industry. All right, let's go back. Number 3 is crazy. This crypto, we could barely buy bread. She talking about crypto, but okay. We're gonna do number 1, providing 1 million loans that are fully forgivable to Black entrepreneurs and others to start a business. And we are entrepreneurs, so what you think about that, Da?
Providing 1 million loans that are fully forgivable to Black entrepreneurs and others.
And others, that's the problem. And how much is the loan? $50? What is the 1 million loans?
And others.
It's vague. And others. Who the others is showing?
No, it's intentionally vague. It's and others. Like that. Like, to me, that's what you call playing in my face. I know what sisters mean. Like, they playing in our face. I mean, it's nothing more Black than I just love when I hear my sisters say, you playing in my face. Like, she playing in my face. Like, I can't read. And people did call me up like, oh, this is great. And I'm like, I won't respond. Not yet. But you're playing in my face, Kamala. I feel disrespected. I'm being honest. I feel disrespected that you think that we can't read. And we know, like, what? Just don't put Black on. Like, why you gonna Blackify your document? You did Black male the battle of the sexes, I said, but really the battle for the sexes, right? Because we know that what she needs is Black males. She want to get more Black support. But don't play in my face like that. Let's be honest. Why play in my face when say black men and others? Like what? That's like what do they call it? A double negative or something? Like you just say something, you take it back. It's like that friend of yours be like, I love you, but like why?
But historically, others are white women. Historically, when you go into affirmative action and you go to different programming, when you say others, it leaves the black community.
There's no end to others, right? That's how far it can travel. Queen, where you at? I can't read the document, so I'm kind of stuck because it's so small. Okay, you doing your work over there, Sister Queen. If you could take this banner down right here, if you take that banner down and then make it big like you did a little earlier, that would be great. Okay, yeah. So let's go back here. This is fine. So she planted her face, provided $1 million loan, fully forgivable to black entrepreneurs and others to start a business.
To start a business, yes.
And the reality is, most businesses fail. As Dr. Ball says, like,
yep. He said,
I get it. We know that black people spew this myth of black economic power, and we know that you plan on our myths in our community, that where we think black businesses going to liberate us, when it's not. And then all these black businesses that come and go and come and go. Like, I mean, and then what are the qualifying I guess features? None less. Just the others.
We have black businesses now, and we're not liberated, and have not been.
Well, she's not.
We have black businesses. It's not like it's going to do something to liberate us. It will give us maybe some options, but we're not getting liberation from black business. The truth.
Yeah, but again, it's not black. It's just she just threw black in there. That's the insult. Yo, it's like, it's for black women and others. It's for women and others. Like, it's for women and others. Like, what? So why you even say it's for women and then others, and then now men can be a part of it? Like, what? Like it's kind of
entrepreneurs and
it's kind of like, let's just think about it. We're trying to make women equal to men, and we're trying to give them. We're trying to close the gap between pay. And then we say, well, this mandatory pay is for black women and others. What? That is an insult. Okay, number 2. Championing education, training, and mentorship programs that help black men get good paying jobs in high demand industries and lead to communities, including pathways to become teachers. Whew. That one is heavy. Championing education,
training, and mentorship programs.
Oh, these programs are already in place. One,
right?
Because we understand that she can't make it exclusive for black people, but she just threw black men in here. Because she can't discriminate. You can't You cannot make it's against the rules and the laws. Just like she was answering those questions last night when she was on the Fox interview, and she kept saying she would uphold the law. Right here, she's tricking you. It's propaganda. It's marketing at its best. The fact that you know that we want more black teachers is pulling our heartstrings. It's like what program like it's like pulling on our heartstrings. Good paying jobs. What is a good paying job? High demand industries lead their communities, including pathways to become teachers. It says, and mentorship programs. So the problem I have with this also is the idea that if you are a status quo person, that's fine. You know, you want to keep the status quo, meaning things don't really change. But when you're talking about, let me see what it was. It's really about fixing the person and not the system. These programs are plentiful. I'm in Baltimore. They have all types of programs that already fit this. They have these programs all across the country already. Like, again, there must be a problem with the people. So we're going to give them a program to fix the people. But there's nothing in here about fixing the system. So we're going to champion education. We're going to tell them how important education is. We're going to train them to become educated, and we're going to mentor them to become men with good paying jobs in high demand industries and lead their communities, including pathways to become teachers. And then there's another problem when you say teachers. Like, what teacher? Like, the teachers period is like you just took away the high paying job. But Queen, go ahead.
And what are they teaching? They're teaching the education that you haven't changed since 1941. The education that is built in and baked in white supremacy and lies. What we teaching?
JT, I'm sorry. JT, we didn't talk about Trump's plan, Agenda 47 and Project 25. Nobody over here supports that crap. You know what I mean? It's like, can we talk about Trump? Well, it's funny because when I was a part of the National Association of Black Counselors, our exclusive agenda for 5 weeks of town hall meetings that I've put on was exclusively about Project 2025 and Agenda 47. And guess what? No one was able, like, it was anathema to even ask about what is Kamala doing. So I'm going to say keep that energy when we're talking about Kamala's agenda. Let's talk about Kamala's agenda. It's not enough to say, well, what is Trump doing? Look, go to the National Association of Black Counselors 6-week town hall that I pretty much led and really, as far as pulling the people together and putting the thing on with the help of the vice president, who also disrespected me and told me she cut me off and I asked her why would she cut me off like that, because she said I can. And again, this is the fanaticism that is taking place in this country, and these gender wars and the battle of the sexes that's happening and taking place. This document is a battle for the sexes. And the reason why it's a battle for the sexes is because it's bogus. And the only thing you throw in there is black. You just throw black men wherever you feel like it fits. Like, she didn't create nothing. She just threw black men in little certain spots just to make you feel like it's something for you. You know it's not anything real. You just supporting the regulatory framework for cryptocurrency and other digital assets so that black men who invest in and own these assets are protected. What type of shenanigans and BS is that? As Queen said, most black people, like, how do you now? So now you change, you regulate crypto for black men, or are you regulating it for the investors? For the fraudsters? Are you regulating for the fraudsters? And we already know crypto is and the reason why you want to regulate it because you know it's a fraud. Supporting regulatory frameworks, and the least thing a lot of these people want is a daggone regulation. That's what makes it attractive to the people who are investing in it, and why they're continuously burning people, manipulating people, frauding people out of their money, especially in the black community. Cryptocurrency has abused our community.
Yeah, and I think that we are invested in it, but it's not something that a digital asset has not been a digital asset to black men, and they're not investing in these crazy proportions. I think that's a waste of time.
And we're not going to be the majority.
Yeah, if
so
you
how
regulating it, it's not for black men.
It's probably white men. Yes, to be honest with you. So when you regulate it, is it really for black men? Like, you just threw black men in there. You playing in our face again.
Okay, launching a national health equity initiative focused on black men that addresses sickle cell disease, diabetes, mental health, prostate cancer, and other health challenges that disproportionately impact them. But the system is what disproportionately impacts them more than any health equity. They could get their diabetes and mental health, and maybe prostate cancer and a lot of other health challenges if you change the system, sis. So, launching this national health equity, please.
I think the sickle cell is the thing that kind of
sickle cell is autonomous to Africans. That's true.
It's not autonomous to Africans, but
mostly us.
But
we're making that SC gene, but it is not a black men thing. I don't think.
Well, let's be clear. It's not exclusive to Africans, and it's also a region. It's a regional thing, but it's part of the propaganda. Because there's literally people out here to believe that sickle cell is only a black thing. In fact, when we understand that black is a construct, and then we also understand that we have to look at these a little bit more in detail. I was listening to a sister earlier who spoke about the medicine, right? And spoke about also when we understand that there's a lot of people in our community has diabetes. But the reality is when we look at it, what we're talking about is this idea that black people we in our minds think that black people are going to get this medicine at a discount. When in reality is it's speaking about seniors. And that does not account for all the rest of the people in the population that are being raped by Big Pharma for medication for diabetes. Now, I'm not saying we don't care for our elders, but you got to become an elder first before you can get that benefit. Other than that, you still get raped. And what about children? What about middle-aged people? And diabetes is it can be something really difficult to manage and continue living with. And that medicine needs to be available for all ages. So, I mean, I think I will have to flesh it out and look at the details and see what this is, because a lot of times what happens is it's propaganda and it's put out there in a way that packages up, but it's propaganda, it's marketing. And I don't feel like I'm being marketed to like that. I don't even like marketing to people. So I'm like, I don't want to feel that way. What you say, what JT said, we agree that it's BS currency, but there is a lot of money now invested in that BS currency, which is also a lot of black people have fallen victim to, which hence maybe there's the regulatory regulations are being talked about, but it's not exclusive to black people, and I guarantee you it's not. Most black people are not the majority of people who are dealing with crypto. So you just threw black on there. Just blackify it. What did Proper say? Actually, there is an online subset of young men screaming about the benefits of cryptocurrency. That's who she's appealing to, but still a BS currency just popular online. I get that too. But at the end of the day, it's still BS, and that's still, as you say, a subset of black men who are also, for the most part, frauds themselves. So you're talking about a bunch of frauds that she's appealing to, because frauds hang together. They flock together. Ooh. You know, I mean, Charlemagne, like, okay. Envy, 19 Keys, these type of folks. These are the folks that talk that BS. I mean, even my man, what's his name? I know you're gonna say your brother. Umar ain't talking. He ain't talking about no cryptocurrency. He talking about some other fantasies. He's talking about some other fantasies.
Because I know that's your dude.
My man, what's my name? My man, Boyce Watkins. You know, all this type of thing. You know.
What's the finance?
Oh yeah, so what's the next one, Queen?
The next one is number 5. Legalizing recreational marijuana and creating opportunities for Black Americans to succeed in this industry.
Let me give you
just to mitigate a goal to say that just Black people are getting high on weed. It's just nonsensical foolishness.
Let me tell you the trick here, Queen. It's a trick here. Do you know the trick in this sentence?
What's the trick?
The trick is supposed to have you read it like this: legalizing recreational marijuana for black men to succeed in the new industry. So it's supposed to have you say it's in your mind. It's set up for you to think about, okay, legalizing it for black people to make money. And on the other side of when you really read it, it's like legalizing recreational marijuana and creating opportunities for black Americans to succeed in this new industry. So it's really trying to like appeal to people who are going to give some pushback to it. All right, so what are you trying to say? You're being stereotypical? Yes, I'm being stereotypical. But no, I'm not being stereotypical because I'm really speaking about the industry and making money in the industry. That is the worst.
What about the guys in prison? What about the people caught up in prison for marijuana? What are we going to do about that? How do you have it legal and you not look at that? That's the best thing for black men. Let them out of jail. Let's do that.
Yeah,
Release them from prison. Everybody with a marijuana sentence.
Hey, brother JT.
That's a real policy.
Brother. Oh yeah, that's a real policy, Queen. And JC said it's currency. I mean, he agreed that it's BS currency. I'm certain he's also agreeing that a lot of frauds have utilized it, and all that type of thing to get over on our people to believe that the cryptocurrency is the new form of liberation.
It's not.
I can't agree with Dr. Ball more that I believe that there has been a push. Trevor Ots. Oh God.
What's wrong with
yes,
you, bro?
sir. Oh man, look, JT. Oh man, I didn't even read the sentence before. Look, he said, "Hey Doc, remember that scam of Che Brown and Trevor Ots?" Yes. They thought they got me, the same type of hucksters, Trevor Ots, and Che Brown, out of Maryland, DC area. Tried to look. I said. They sell these programs with all this get rich and all this and all that. I said, all right, let me get this package, the smallest package, just to see how they would treat my money. Nonetheless, they never delivered on anything. And I called them, sent them emails and all types of things, but they didn't realize, they just kept taking money from people. And they didn't realize I was on the media at that time and so on and so forth. And I mean, I chased them around for a while, sent them emails. And then I got frustrated. I went live. I sent them a text. I sent them the broadcast of the show that this show was going to go live. And God knows, things turn. I think, what did they do? They sent me a picture of the check. The check was mailed out. They sent me the tracking number. They did all types of things. But my man, Key, nonetheless, go check that show out, family. It was a good show. It was pretty cool. But yeah, you beat them. Proud of you, bro. Yeah, I mean, JT, I don't get down with these scammers, man. And your girl, man, I don't know, man. Like, I ain't feeling good about her just throwing black on things, bro. I mean, and I gotta keep it a buck, man. I really.
Do you see the next sentence?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump spent 4 years making black men's lives harder. On his watch, millions of black men lost their jobs, thousands closed their businesses, and hundreds and thousands lost their health insurance. As thousands of black men lost their lives to COVID-19, Donald Trump denied the severity of the crisis and made millions more unsafe. Crime in black neighborhoods soared while Donald Trump tried to cut funding for public safety and made black communities less secure. So
you guess what? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and even if it's true, right? Even if it's true, I don't even doubt that it's true. I don't think most black people doubt that it's true. I think it's such a small percentage of white wing black folks that I mean, I don't even think all that might even it's interesting that both sides will say something totally different, right? What they say, there's statistics. There's that what they say, there's statistics, and then there's damn statistics, and there's something. What is it? Then there's damn lies or something like somebody said. But nonetheless, people will take data and make it work for them. So what does Parnell Broom say? Parnell Broom says, Doc, I agree with you about Boyce Watkins. Oh, okay. All right. I got to get a little something from Mr.
He said he
Broom.
would talk more, but he's at work.
Mr. Broom says he's at work. You don't look. Just type it, bro. Just type it. You've been doing a lot of typing. Type it. Type it. Proper perspective.
You see right
Link
here
to the show, please. Laughing out loud. I hate scanners. You hate scanners or scammers? No, well, go ahead.
So it says here, talking about her, number one, she will ensure that Black men can build wealth and achieve economic success by providing 1 million loans that are fully forgivable of up to 20,000 to Black entrepreneurs and others who have historically faced barriers starting a new business or growing an existing business, in partnership with trusted organizations like mission-driven leaders and banks with a proven commitment to their communities. None of that. Banks don't have no proven commitment to no Black community. And who are the mission-driven leaders who's going to handle the money? I don't understand. Vice President Harris has already laid out a plan to help more small businesses start, innovate, and expand. She proposed a historic tenfold expansion of the tax deduction for small businesses startup expenses from $5,000 to $50,000, and an initiative to help existing small businesses grow by providing low and no interest loans to small businesses that want to expand, boosting access to venture capital, and supporting innovation hubs and business incubators. All this is trash because it's not true.
Oh, tell me what's trash and what's not true. I was kind of
well. What I'm saying is what they do with these when they give money, they start incubators, they go through banks. These are all barriers to cash for African Americans. The bank is a barrier. Then the innovation hub has all of these criteriums. Venture capitalists do not venture their capital into Black businesses. So everything that we're saying is the same route that we're taking to get to the problem that we're already at. You understand? Existing small businesses grow by providing low and no interest loans to small businesses that want to expand, boosting access to venture capital. We don't get that. Supporting innovation hubs. The criterion usually makes us compete against each other for small amounts of money and want to expand, boosting access. And business incubators. There's not any incubators in our communities. Please.
This is how you know she just threw Black on it, because she's already been talking about this before.
Mm-hmm.
And when you read it, it's just what she's doing is telling you she's putting the false stuff on the top, and then she tells you the truth on the bottom, so that you wouldn't say that she was lying. So it's like providing 1 million loans that are fully forgivable of up to $20,000 to Black entrepreneurs and others who have historically faced barriers to starting a new business or growing an existing business.
These are white women. These are South Asians. These are Asians.
So this
historical thing, what is it? What does it really mean?
So then she tells you the truth. This is already a policy she had. Vice President Harris has already laid out a plan. This is when she's letting you know. She's already laid out a plan to help more small businesses start, innovate, and expand. She proposed a historic tenfold expansion of the tax deduction for small businesses startup expenses from $5,000 to $50,000, and an initiative to help existing small businesses grow by providing low and no interest loans to small businesses that want to expand, boosting access to venture capital, and supporting innovations hubs. So yeah, all of that, but none of that is explicit and exclusive to Black people. But my problem is that you're lying. That's the problem I have, and that is the problem that I have. If the person wasn't lying, like, don't throw Black on there. Like, you just threw Black on there. Like you know this is not for Black people, but you're trying, like, what you're trying to do is throw Black on there, and because you know the criticism has been that you're not doing anything exclusive for Black people, so now you want to trick us And then all these black people became happy and all this, look, it's black, because they read the word black. Because she said the word black. No, it's not exclusive. And then had the audacity to throw others on there behind it. Like, oh, God. I mean, like, to me, it doesn't get any better. Like, I mean, it doesn't make me want to vote for you more by lying. Like, I wish my dear sister could just tell the truth. I'm looking for some hope to vote for Kamala, but she doesn't help me with that. And I think, and I'm being real honest, like, I really would want to see someone I could trust. I was listening to the brother, I forgot his name, Anton something, and he said that a lot of black men are frustrated with Kamala because she doesn't talk straight. She goes, she says this, then she says that. She switches up. She doesn't answer questions, and to me, that is true. For me, I'm frustrated by her lack of being able to be real. I'm also frustrated by her also being a fake white right winger as well. Like, are you left? Are you more like liberal, or are you like? I remember a few years ago when what's the guy named Biden, right? President Biden, right? When it was so popular in our community to speak against not allowing people, at least from the South America, Mexico, and Central America, to come through the country because we felt like this was their land. That was some great, strong liberal talking points. But all of a sudden now, it's the flip. I am the border. I am the one who prosecuted the people at the border. Like, I am the I will maintain and regulate and guard the border better than anybody. Trump has never done this. I've prosecuted people. I've upheld the law. Like, now you policing. It's just like in Baltimore. The Democrats in Baltimore, some of them are really talking about strong policing as if that helps our community. Like, we will lock them up and throw away the key, and then black people clapping. And then just 2 years before that, they were complaining about police brutality and deregulating, defunding the police. Then you got everybody talking about now harder policing because they know that Trump and other people have run on that talking point, and people are attracted to that. So I will change my thoughts. I would change my policies depending on what the people want. Or no, not what the people want. Depending on what will allow me to get into office. I'll big up Kamala's in opposition to Trump, but I ain't voting for her. Cornel West is my only option. Reparations, anti-Israel, pro-African. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna say to that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, I get that. I don't know. I'll big up her Kamala in opposition to Trump. Okay, got you. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, if it's between her and Trump, yes, I agree.
Oh no, it is between her and Trump, but I agree with his whole.
It is. I mean,
I agree with
but Cornel West is his guy. I get it.
Yeah, I don't know about my dear Barbara Cornell. I don't want to vote. I don't want to. I would prefer the green. I would prefer Butch Wade over Cornell right now.
But you're strong. So we're gonna stop sharing with Kamala in this piece of work she put together.
You see how it's you better say her name right. You better say her name right.
Yeah, I keep saying. I know they're like. I keep messing it up, but listen, it's not to be funny. I just listen.
No,
That's a lot of name for the black tongue.
it's how we
It's
learned
the
her
black tongue.
name. No, but we've
Yeah, it's the
also learned
African
her
tongue.
name. Yeah, we learned her name that
Kamala.
way. So, yeah.
Kamala.
Yeah. Oh Lord, stop it.
Kamala.
For people
I'm
think that
serious. I'm not trying to be funny.
But
I'm
the
a black
battle
woman.
of
I can do that.
the battle of the sexes, the battle for the sexes, again, you know, again, even when you looked at what we just spoke about, you can see how academia is tied in it. What was it doing? It cited research. You know what I mean?
But when you look at Trump and how his current interviews or current places that he showed up to. He showed up to speak to women, the voters. He showed up. He has no. He can't even put his sentences together. How can they be? Even that Kamala is a problem. How can they be? How can he even be in contention? That's what I just don't understand. What's wrong with this country?
I'm gonna tell you
Do you
why.
not see that this is a mediocre, before
No,
jackass?
No. Trump helps. Look. Let's stop giving white women passes. That is my major thing. We're saying we're giving them all types of excuses. Well, they're voting their husband's interests. No, they're voting their interests. Like, even if it is because their husband, like, it's their interests, you know? Like, there's something about Donald Trump that helped white women feel very safe and protected. White women benefit from white men's dirt. We need to really make that real. Like, we have to really be honest. Like, for example, a lot of us don't really care about what's going on in the Middle East. Why? Because we benefit from the dirt of this country. We like you try to have this conversation with folk, and we think that we're having a logical, moral conversation. And it's not. Because people who act like they're worried about people being blown to shreds in the Middle East and all what's happening in Africa, at the end of the day, they feel like that they don't want America to lose its power, because they want America to protect them and what they have. Don't be confused by our brothers and sisters. They don't give a damn about. I'm saying some of us. I get you. What's my brother? What's this brother? You know, I'm talking about some of us, not all of us. They still my people. I mean, and because the fear of what might happen if America loses power. America funds and fuels their military to maintain power. Like, why don't we know this? Like, so people will never speak against that, because they say, well, if America stopped fueling their military, somebody else is going to fuel their military and then take America's place. And I don't want to lose my place as a crumb snatcher in the American environment. So we got to keep it a buck. We don't want to lose the crumbs we got in this country. And again, I'm saying we, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about many of us. I'm saying we because I'm a part of this black community. So some people, whether or not they tell you or not, they feel that the dirt that America, that this country does around the world protects them. That's real. The dirt, as long as
That's
America
real.
stays in power, I don't have to deal. No one's going to bomb us. Think about it. America's so powerful, you don't even have to think about nobody bombing you, probably. But that's not real. I mean, somebody will try you. And then we also understand.
We don't walk around being scared, though. We really feel safe.
Because we know we're protected by the biggest bullies.
Yeah, in the world. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And the most fearful. They're fearful, too. So they got to stay on guard.
And even so much so that we can talk all the smack we talking right here, right now. How many of us will be talking half the smack if anything was on the line. And most of us don't want to talk about nothing when
right.
it's on the line.
We'll be quiet, baby.
And some of
If they said it was
this
come
we
get that Benz or them Jordans, we'll be
the
quiet.
reality is some of us are already quiet. And that's why we don't go any further than the white feminist liberal agenda. Because the most revolutionary we can be is that white matriarchal feminist liberal agenda. So I'm going to be just as revolutionary as white academia allows me to be. And even to the point that you almost have to agree with some of the right wing academics, but not fully. Like, there's like mess on both sides. It's like the right wing is saying some things that are very important, and then there's some left wing that is, I'm talking about academics, that are saying things that are they're very relevant. But the problem is they're fighting against each other and we're jumping in their wars. I'm going to continue to say that because the right wing academic, patriarchal academic believe that white people are superior, that black people are only getting in places because of affirmative action and DEI. I mean, they don't have any problem with saying it. Even our black brothers and sisters who also repeat their points and look at their research, they don't believe that black people deserve or are as intelligent or prepared. And they at some point they begin to believe that, well, you know what? You need to stop complaining and really pull yourself up by your bootstraps and stop blaming the white man. Like, they really believe that. And to some degree, I think some of them believe it in a pure sense. Like, I'm not talking about Candace Owens. She's a trick. But there's some people out here that truly believe that stuff. And
trick or treat.
You know, and then
it's about to be Halloween. Trick or treat.
And then there's the white matriarchal liberal feminist part academics that everything goes. Everything goes. Burn your bras. We ain't having no children no more. In fact, we accept everything under the sun. Just do what you do. Your liberation is freedom of your own self and your own identity. There's some truth, there's some benefit in some of that, but as Dr. Gregory says, we go too far. You can pull pieces out of both of them and it'll be exactly right. It's just both of them are extremely on opposite sides and both very destructive to our community. Queen, are you still there?
Well, Brother Chris said, I'm still here. You hear me?
Okay, go ahead.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, it says exactly, Doctor. So why do you think these issues of IQ is still being discussed? Because it's a system. Everything in this country is a system. IQ is discussed because it puts some out and escalates others. Any system that does that will be discussed forever. It's no
because
well, I'm not doctor, so pardon me, Brother Chris.
And because
speak on that.
Because to some degree, they believe that IQ tests are accurate and fair, and they believe in a society that Anglo Americans are the standard. If there's a professor, what is her name? Her name is Amy Wax, I believe it is. Who's a white lady who really speaks about black students underperforming and not being as able or abled or capable. And then we hear other black academics talk to them that are, the right wing type, who say, we need to not put them in these schools because they're going to underperform. They will do better in their own schools. Not because it's culturally appropriate, but because it's not as challenging. You understand? So it's like, not that the black school is more culturally appropriate. and that white schools are typically, they are culturally appropriate for white people for the most part. I'm talking about the white right patriarchal structure. See, the left structure is what is pervasive in academia now, and this is what we have where you can call out like there's no rules. Like for example, I heard Mark Lamont Hill, Candace Owens, Lord Jamar, and on the Piers Morgan show. I think it's Piers Morgan. Is that his name? Piers Morgan, the white guy, like a British accent. I heard them on his show earlier today, I believe it was. And
Lord Jamora, Mark Lamar, and Candace.
Yeah,
that
he had them all on there.
Of black.
That was a buffet of black, and it was really crazy because Mark Lamont Hill looked very crazy. I'm so sad about that. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes when my dear brother, who I really learned a lot from, Mark Lamont Hill, what happens with him is he's sometimes so caught in the liberal talking points that he looks foolish. But ooh. I don't know if that like the day that like when Candace Owens had him saying can a black Candace Owens set him up with this question about can a man have a baby? It's like, I mean, like,
that's her thing. She's done that to a lot of people, which is so stupid.
He walks into it, which makes him look pretty foolish. But I understand what he's saying. But I think you have to slow that down. And I'm not saying I will be the best to respond to it either. But what I will say is Candace Owens and Piers Morgan, I think, they brought up some good points. And one of the good points is, and I know this because I work with the students and I work in that field, which is very liberal, is that it's this, I can hear that, Queen. So, you look like you sneaking in class and like you sneaking in class and like your teacher looking at you. I'll be looking at my students like, hold up, you doing a whole paper in my class right now. Like, are you writing a paper? Can you really be?
I got a text and then I opened it and it was the noise. So go ahead.
Okay. So what they said was this idea about the Me Too movement. And then this idea of what you will get from more liberal, which is a liberal talking point, and you hear it all in the schools and stuff like that, where even some of my students were like, you have to believe everything your clients say. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't have to believe everything they say. I mean, I get it. You have a bleeding heart, and you're lying. By the way, if you're saying you believe everything I believe everything my clients say. Well, you're lying. You're lying. So then there's this thing about, and I understand that, see, and this is why my mentor speaks to this idea that we go too far. So it's been a history in this country where women were challenged when they will report that they were raped, right? That's a history. Like, what did you have on? What were you doing? Why were you out there? Are you sure? All that type of thing comes up, right? Which is pretty bad. Right? Really, I mean, not to say pretty bad. I'm saying really bad, especially when it comes to the point where the person really did get raped or was violated. But but the problem is that when the liberal matriarch comes in, they begin to say things like, you have to believe all women. It goes to this whole other extreme. Don't question them. Like, so, I mean, like, I don't think you question the relevance either way, but you don't automatically, this is what they were arguing, you do not automatically say the woman is telling the truth or the male is telling the truth or whatever. You don't do it that way. It's not like the matriarch and the patriarch is fighting foolish points. But that type of thought is pervasive in academia, where if the woman says it, you must believe her. To some degree, some of this stuff is really foolish that you almost can't even be a husband anymore. Like, honestly, I mean, I'm just going to keep it a buck. I'm sorry. Like, I got to ask my wife to kiss her every time I see her. Like, I get it, but can I kiss you before I kiss you? Like, I
Are
mean,
those the same thing, sir?
what?
Are those the same comparables?
I'm not comparing anything.
Oh, okay.
I mean, what am I comparing? What do you think I'm comparing?
Well, you were saying about women and being, we go too far, and then you're saying going too far
That's one
attributes
point.
to
That's one point.
attributes to like being a husband. You can't be a husband anymore.
Yeah, you
So,
can't. Well, I'm
I'm
saying
not a
no.
husband, so I don't know what that is. But I'm just
What I'm
saying.
saying is, I can't just go kiss my wife. Really? How do you feel about that, Queen?
Uh, like I said, I'm not a husband, but I think that we have
Well,
went too far.
be a wife.
You can't kiss my husband, eh? I think we, like you said, we've gone too far. I mean, but how do we reel this in? How do we
Yeah,
reel
we
the too far
going
in?
to the extreme doesn't help.
It doesn't help.
It creates other problems,
But
and
what
this is
they
what
want to
we.
do is give people blanket, a blanket rights. Give let all women have rights until they're proven wrong. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where that's coming in for when they get to like all women or all of this. It's
That's
to ensure
all
that
too far.
everyone is being heard. It's too
It
far
causes
to
and
a
it
point.
causes
Yeah.
problems in our community when we go too far either way. There has to be some balance to the way that we do things. The patriarch has ruled
Okay.
too long in a very too far way, where they dominated women and everybody else. Because guess what? And I say
So what we're
women,
gonna do
and
now?
women mean white women, and then everybody else is anybody of color.
So
Because
that's what I'm saying. So what we're gonna do now? Because
no, what I am
you
saying
know
is
you
we
said the
need.
patriarchy has ruled too long. What are we gonna do now then?
Well,
Matriarchy?
the answer it is a bit of matriarch, but it is not. It is not. I'm talking about white matriarch.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Yeah.
not beneficial. It is not beneficial to do that. They're just fighting each other, and people are getting caught up in the middle of it. That I mean, I will posit that what we see in the black community as far as male and female relationships is symptomatic of the greater dominant culture. It is not a problem
I
that
believe that hands
comes out of
down.
our community. It is
Yes,
a
I believe
problem
that.
that we have adopted their culture, their ideologies, and even to be honest, it is not the sisters' fault. It is not let me say this again. It is not the sisters' fault. But it is true that sisters go to the schools
Yeah.
and get indoctrinated and bring that back to the house.
Amen.
And then the brothers are now buckling down on the uneducated right. I'm sorry, the right wing stuff and the fundamentalist stuff and the overly
Traditional.
zealous Christianity traditional stuff, which
Yes.
they So it's like this war. We're fighting with other people's culture.
You ain't lying. Whew. That is a word, bro.
So I'm saying but we can't speak about these things because it is an anathema to speak about the white matriarchy. I don't know
It's a
if
word.
nobody's saying it. I
Say that
am.
word again.
It is a curse. It is a sin. You should be cursed to speak about if you speak about this. And it's very scary to be in academia and be able to freely talk about these things. And like the sister, I don't know, I'm not gonna call her. Well, I'll call her Amy Wax. Let's say there's
Amy
some
Wax.
truth in what she says, but she's
A
very
white Jewish
white,
lady.
patriarchal type of lady who also benefits from the white feminist stuff that she agrees with, but she wants to feel safe. And Donald Trump helps white women feel safe. Kamala
That's what
does
we
not
got. Hands
help.
down.
Kamala does not help white women feel safe. They don't
Definitely.
even
It
believe
never.
that is a woman's duty. I'm talking about women, not black women. Black women, we Queen Nzinga, we Queen Asante. That's a whole different type of woman. You understand? But there are few feminists that I am on. Look. I will posit. Now this could be totally inaccurate, but I will posit that feminism. I already said it earlier. Feminism is more pervasive in our culture than their own, because it is even shown in the way that they vote as a majority. I am not talking about black feminism and all. I'm talking about white feminism, which we put black on. It is more pervasive in our culture. And again, it isolates and alienates men. It does, black men even. Because you want him to somehow become something, like for example, I deal with brothers and sisters every day. And to some degree the brothers right, some degree the sisters right. It's like this thing, like they like the brother ain't doing this and the sister ain't doing that. And this music behind me, I'm sorry, can you hear it? It's really disturbing me. You can hear that? Huh? I can't hear you.
Oh yeah, I'm muted. Yes, I hear your music. I hear your.
It's
DJ
not my
in the back.
music. It's the people outside with the one of them slingshots. What do they call those things? Let me turn my mic down. Tell me if you hear it still.
We live in Baltimore City, baby.
Can you hear it now?
That's urban environments.
Can you hear it now?
A little bit, but not much.
Okay, so where was I? I was somewhere
talking about white women and their you went past Miss Wax and how they benefit from feminists and the white view. I think that's
and this
how
idea
they from that.
Yeah, that Chris is talking about. Excuse me. That Chris is talking about when he says that, why do we think we're still using the bell curve? And I heard that lady Amy Wax today on a video. And I heard her speak about all groups falling in a bell curve. And there's some truth to that. But the fact that she even used that language makes me believe that she literally subscribes.
The bell curve is a problem, yes.
Well, the bell curve in and of itself is not a problem, right?
But the way that it was articulated, the way that it was applicated,
the book, the propaganda,
yes.
the ideology that black people are
less than
genetically inferior,
yes.
right. So that was a problem, and is a misusage of the bell curve, because what are you measuring people against? If you are like Candace Owens and even the brother who I think is, I really appreciate this brother. He's one of those guys over there too. I can't lie and say I haven't listened to him a lot, but his name is Loury. The last name is Loury. He's like a Republican type of black guy who's kind of like a apologist for sometimes some of the stuff that goes over there. But still to some degree, I feel like he has a more balanced discourse than many of them over there. And I feel like he has somewhat, I don't know, I feel, the little that I know of him, I think you know what I'm talking about? The guy, Loury, what is his name?
No.
Loury.
I don't like none of the talking heads.
But I feel like they get mixed up with, I think, see, the problem is they measure black people on European standards. So this is where they get misled. And to some degree, I mean, now from what I've heard of this brother, I believe, let me say this, from what I've seen of him, that he really does care for our community. I will not argue that everybody, hold up, Hello? Okay, I hurt myself back.
You. What are you doing? Yeah, we hear you.
I hurt myself back. So, and it was a big, so what happens is he really
Brother Cliff know everybody. Glenn Loury.
Glenn Loury. Glenn Loury. So I think that from what I've seen for him, his analysis I can appreciate at times. I think we should listen to all of these people. I don't think we should get stuck on NSBNC and all that. I think Fox is a joke. I can't lie. Most of the time, Fox is a joke. But I do think we should listen to other brothers and sisters. I think Candace Owens is something is really interesting about her. Even her smiles and her smirks and the way that she looks at things and the
She's
things
just
that
a
she
devil,
laughs at
baby.
and the
She's just a
lies and
devil.
the conspiracy theories that she makes up. I mean, like
She's a
she's lying on.
smart devil.
She be lying on Kamala. You know what I mean? Like she be lying on
Yeah.
Obama. Like I mean,
She's a smart devil.
I
I'm
don't
trying
think
to
these
tell you.
people are going to save us, but I literally don't need you to lie on people though, like and make up like stupid superstition and.
Lying is the new sexy. Trump has made lying integrated in language, into the way that we articulate and the way that we talk to each other. Lying is the thing. Everyone's lying, even the others candidate. So they all
If
lying.
and don't get caught up because Candace Owens does say some truth, right? Like there's some facts that she says at times. Don't get caught up with that. See, that's how they pull you in, and then they start feeding you with all the junk. You know what I mean? And they know that you're not more than likely going research it, or the researching skills are lacking. I don't really believe Candace Owens believes what she says all the time. Even on the white boy, Piers Morgan, whatever his name is, said to her today, like he shared something that she shared about Beyonce and Jay-Z or what have you, and he had to kind of take it back because he was literally just kind of copying like repeating what Candace put out there. Then he had to retract it because Jay-Z and Beyonce said, if you don't take this down, we're gonna sue you. And then he tried to substantiate what she said, but
that was Jaguar Wright, though. Wasn't that Jaguar Wright?
I don't know who Jaguar
He had
Wright
on
is.
there. Yeah,
No,
she's
this
the
is
one who
something
was on there talking about that.
This is I'm talking about something that happened today. And then there's this other sister.
Okay.
What's this sister? I think she was a senator or something who's really coming for the Democratic Party for trying to sabotage the third parties and all these type of people. But nonetheless,
Isn't that Nina Turner?
Nina Turner. Yeah. And I like what Nina Turner is saying. I remember I followed her some time ago. I don't know all her politics and all that type of thing, but I think she was speaking some truth to power more recently on some things, and I appreciate it. I don't know what she is holistically. I don't know much about her. But I do think what we need to do is stop listening to Democratic politics all day, because we won't really get to, like, I think if we listen to all sides, we can learn to weed through the BS. But there's literally, you also begin to see why people believe the things they believe, and it's not because people are retarded, ignorant, and uneducated. None of that. The reality is, all these sides are pandering to us, including the third parties. Right? There's some of that needed to win in this system. Again, that isn't more indicative of the system itself. Part of the reason why I don't like this political system is that it's a competition. It's a competition for your minds. It's a competition. It's like it's a war going on. And when you hear people even talk about the polls and this, it sounds no different than looking at a sports analyst speaking about football plays. To me, there's something fundamentally problematic.
Yes.
There's something fundamentally problematic with the way that we elect our officials, especially on the federal level. And there's something that is just doesn't sit with me to my core. So when I speak about when I think about Karen Hunter, and as she tried to play Sister Soldier and come across as like revolutionary, then she started talking about, we're gonna push Kamala to do something. Like, what? What are you talking about?
Back to my sister.
What, because to me, because she told people that if you don't do this, you're a traitor and you're an enemy to us. Like, what? That is very
irresponsible.
Hey, Queen, can you back up a bit? I think.
But I also want to say, we're 2 hours and 13 minutes in. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, we're gonna go 3 hours a day. It's a marathon. I'm messing with you. Last week we was tired, family. Both of us. I think it was me who said I was really wiped out. We had a great elders event at TNAT. In fact, We are initiating our ministerial, one of our ministerial aspects here at TNET Hosted Wellness Center. If you're interested, come and join us. We're going to be doing some things on Sundays. African Centered Ministry. Hopefully my cuz can come up sometimes. Maybe he can drop a message or something. Message of empowerment, right? And Brother Cliff, maybe Brother Chris, you can come past. Nonetheless, why I was going back to my dear sister is, I think her message was the epitome of the mindset that's prevailing out here in our community, and people are afraid. So I want to have some compassion for her. The problem is she's a bully at times, and and people bully because they're fearful. And people bully because if you don't do the thing the way that I think you should do it, then I'm afraid of the repercussions. So I'm going to do whatever I need to do, even if that's called bullying you into doing it. Which, in this case, I would say, my dear sister, and people like that, we need to get a grip. And we need to go and seek out some counsel where people can help us with our nerves, our anxiety, and all these other things. I'm talking about community folk. I ain't talking about professional folk even. I'm not talking about counseling or psychotherapy, but that might help as well. But the problem is most psychotherapists are very liberal educated, and there's some patriarchal ones that it's so crazy because in order to become a therapist to be honest with you, you almost have to be a white feminist or a white LGBTQ plus community person. Not, as Cleo Monago said, and I'm giving Cleo all types of respect, right? So, and not as Cleo speaks about when he speaks about this idea of same gender loving black people who black is first. That's different. It's never black is first. In fact, in academia, black in race, we talk about it, but we do nothing truly to really address it in a major way. And when you look at all these academic organizations, the ones who put black, lots of them who put black before the title, when you get on there, they always talking about everything else. And then when you go to these academic places like the ACA, American Counseling Association, and APA, the American Psychological Association, and you realize that what kind of auxiliaries they have, what kind of executive, I don't know what you call them, like orders and different things like that that's inside the organization.
All of that is white,
all about
European.
It's all about white issues, hence LGBTQ plus, hence women's issues. And see what we do is we think that LGBTQ plus and women's issues means because I'm a part of that community that somehow it benefits me. In some way it may, but overall it further keeps us divided. So I do agree, and I appreciate Cleo's articulation of that we have to have our own, you know. And you're going to have to tell Cleo I've been saying all types of good stuff about him lately. And
we're going to have him on. He's going to come in with us. I love it.
Cleo ain't coming on with me. But not right now. I got to work up to him. But no, maybe we'll talk about that type of issue. I would love to have him on, but not foolishness about don't worry about white people. Why you worry about them and all that type of thing. I think that's a foolish argument. But nonetheless,
why do you have to go there?
It's a real thing. That's just my thought. I'm not here to debate, not to worry about.
Cleo's my guy, so we'll have
JT back. JT said Karen Hunter banned me from her channel because I stood up to her bullying, and we agree in most. Yeah, JT. You know what I'm saying? Like that lets you know, brother JT, that there's a serious issue, and this is the state where our people are. When you disagree with them, that we're so triggered that we see you as the enemy. Because I promise you that she probably sees you as an enemy. Me and you are totally like at odds with this topic, but I understand your perspective and I appreciate it and I respect it. I don't believe you fully believe it, but I mean that's another conversation.
You're always throwing shade.
I mean, cause look, but I do understand
JT,
it.
you're always throwing darts. Always throwing darts, bro.
Hey, in fact, my father told you, JT, when he saw you on 2 weeks ago, me, you, Queen, and brother Proper. In fact, Proper's my cousin, right? That he said that you look like our peoples. So you might be kindred folk, bro. You got some people down in Virginia, JT. Yeah, but I did see what he was saying.
Tell him stop coming
you
for
like
you,
you,
JT.
you do look like you got a little some of that Virginian that Winkler something. You know, we might be fans, we might be peeps.
Well,
but
right now he's Brooklyn for
cousins.
Kamala right now. So get over it.
Brooklyn for Kamala.
Right now he's Brooklyn for Kamala.
BK.
Yeah, get over it.
Okay, he got some people, some cousins in Virginia. VA. And what you gotta say? I rocks roughs and stuffs with my Afro puffs.
Really?
Ray.
We've been here for 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Hey, Queen, I know one thing we know about you is you know how to count. I mean, we know. Oh, you know how to read that ticker. I learned. You know how to read the ticker. At first, I thought you was mathematically just doing. I'm like, this woman is brilliant. Look, family, we've been here for 2 hours and 20 minutes and 0.40 seconds and 42. Yeah, I mean, it's 43 right now and 44. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, you guys that saw him when he first came and sat down, how tired he was. He's up now. Throwing darts.
That's probably why I was so tired last week, man. Look.
We need you to give your final analysis. Hit it.
My final analysis is I love my people. We gonna be okay either way. Believe me. Yep. Guess what, JT? We survived your boy before. I don't want him up in there. I ain't gonna lie. But
we will survive him again.
Kamala gotta stop lying though, bro. She gotta stop shenanigans. She gotta come a little real. She's starting to insult our intelligence. You know what I mean? But I will say this. We know it's a lie. And the fact that we say, well, we know she got to lie. Like, that's supposed to make me feel better. We know she got to lie to get in there. Then Karen Hunter said, well, why you so moral now? You should have been moral 10 years. I will tell you, I've been moral for a long time. Been moral for a long time. she not perfect, but she okay. I see you. But look, yeah, so what I say, fam, we're gonna be okay. Nonetheless, we will be okay. We are resilient people. And I do believe, like, it might sound like I don't think we have any allies. Allies, right? We don't have any allies. We got a lot of allies. You know what I'm saying? But I will say that we do have some people that will fight along with us in this country because, in fact, to some degree, it benefits their own interests. And, in fact, it benefits their own interests, you know. But stop giving white women a pass. This is what I'm closing out with, Queen. Stop giving white women a pass. Look, the reason why I ain't talking about white men, because we don't give them no pass. we don't give white men no pass. We don't give them none. White men have no feelings to none of them, not even the oppressed ones, right, to us. You know, I think we need to really look at that in a more nuanced way. We need to look at oppressed white people and oppressed people all across. We need to look at them a little bit more nuanced. Not to say they won't lynch you, but but I'm just saying that, and this is what I guess me and my brother Cleo would differ with, and I will not argue or debate this point because I don't want nobody thinking I'm trying to protect a group of people that has done bad things to us. But I think that all people are nuanced. All people. Stop allowing people to fearmonger you into submission, fearmonger you into making decisions, fearmongering you into maintaining the status quo. Stop it. Don't let people do that to you. Understand that if we put as much energy into saying vote for a third party than we do fear-mongering people to uphold the two parties, that some change will happen. As Brother Cliff said on the panel that I was on the other day, he said, see, one time people thought that the Republican Party would never come about because there was the Whigs and the Democrats, but they did come about. So what I'm saying is, to say that it cannot be a third party, and guess what? If the Republican Party was once the Revolutionary Party, guess what? If another party comes in the system the way it's set up, even if it's revolutionary from the beginning or they have these ideas, they will begin to placate and fold into the system as well. Yep. Understand the system is the problem. Yep. And even the third party, they might have a nice little thing and shake some things up, but at some point they will acquiesce if they don't shake this goddamn system and turn it over. With that family, I say peace, 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 and power. Queen, close us on out.
First, I want you to also say what you told me. If you vote for the third party, it puts them on the ballot and they get money. Didn't you tell me? Kind of explain that quickly before we close.
No, well, right now they'll get more money. They're already in some ballots, but one of the reasons why I'll vote for the Green Party over even Cornel West or anything like that. Not that I have much faith in all of them, but at least I like their talking points and they're shaking some things up. But what I will say is that does allow them to gain, I think it's like $10 million or so or more campaign financing and things from the federal government like these other parties get. And if they get to that 5% margin. So that's why I'll put my money, that's why I'll put my vote with the Green right now. Not because I think they're going to win. I'm not delusional. But even with what I'm saying here, if we did put as much, if our celebrities and Obama and even my girl Kamala and everybody said, look, let's go for a third party because they ain't serving us, believe me, black people would fall in place. But the problem is these people don't want to lose what they got. They don't. Gotta understand, they want to maintain the status quo because they ain't you. I don't even like this, but I understand it now. They ain't like us. And I ain't talking about because their ethnic origin. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about their class reality. Because guess what? I guess I'm middle class or poor or something like that. I don't care if I got businesses and all that. But nonetheless, what I'm saying is, I don't know where it is, but what I will say is this. It ain't even about me, it's about me and my people. The people I serve, the people I work with, is the people that I serve. And I know one thing for sure. Even I just be honest, I just keep it a buck with you. I don't even like these snobby hard, like when I'm getting these awards and things. I don't need all that fancy stuff because my people out here hurting. My people out here starving. Like none of that stuff makes me feel good. I don't need that. I don't feel good because I got cufflinks on or special office or any of these things. Or I got the special thing on the stage with the rest of the ministers. And none of that stuff makes me feel good when other people are sitting down in the pews. And I don't need all that. What I need is some real liberation. I don't need the bull S. Queen.
All right. Listen. Yeah, we're closing out. I want to tell everyone, like, share, subscribe. We come on every Thursday, Doc in the Box. You see this commentary we had for Dr. Da. Amazing. So, guys, please like, share, subscribe. Go to Dr. Dennis Assault Winkler on YouTube and subscribe. Black Box Radio, subscribe. Put us in the algorithm. Comment. Share this. We need to black up the algorithm. We need some real talk in the atmosphere. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging with us for 2 hours. We out. Deuces.
Become a part of it. Embrace it. 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 When you claim you're Africanist, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim you're Africanist, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you.
Good night.
When you claim you're Africanist, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Black and